All right, so the home I want to purchase has a code violation. What do I do? So a code violation in and of itself, as far as getting a mortgage, we are not going to do any sort of due diligence as a mortgage company to, search for code violations. However, um, you will, when you get a title report on a property, a code violation can show up and cloud the title of a property. So one of the conditions of getting a mortgage is you need to have clear title, free of any liens, of any judgments, of any, any money that someone owes to anyone, whether it's a mortgage company or to a county or to, an individual that maybe has a judgment. All of that stuff has to be satisfied prior to the title actually being transferred. It's the way that basically judgments or liens are enforced. So let's say the house that you want to purchase has a violation for unpermitted work. Let's just say that's a pretty common one that we see somebody put an addition on their house that wasn't permitted, and the county found out and they violated them. So there's two kind of components to this. There is the financial aspect, which is basically like a penalty. Usually something like that will accrue a penalty at $75, $100, $150 a day. It depends on the municipality that assessed the violation. So basically, until that issue that was violated is fixed, every day they're going to get a fine of $75, $100, $150, whatever it is, and that's going to accrue up. So if you have a violation that has been accruing fines, right, the seller would need to either pay that or somehow settle it. Sometimes those code enforcement liens can be reduced, but the seller has to take care of that, essentially. The other component is if the issue that they have the violation for, right, so like let's say they have a $10,000 penalty because they got unpermitted work done. If that work has not been either undone or permitted, basically if the issue hasn't been fixed, then the county will not allow you to pay that fine. They won't give you a payoff for that fine. So basically, the steps really, as a buyer, there's not much you can do besides you could theoretically pay cash for the property, and take on those violations, but those are going to move with the property and they're going to be your problem to handle if you did that. If you're getting a loan, the only way that you would actually be able to close on that transaction and get clear title would be if the seller, first of all, fixed the issues that were causing the violations, and number two, worked out some sort of settlement or paid off the fines in full. If you were to pay cash for that property, you're not going to get clear title. You're going to have that code enforcement lien attached to the property, and it's going to be your responsibility to either pay it or settle it and fix the violation. So I really recommend, unless you really know what you're doing and you're getting the property at a significant discount, most people who are listening to advice from me from social media are not going to want to do that.